Serious names.
He's
Yo,
got
what's
his
going
neck
on,
thing.
guys?
I like it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G. I'm back again with another video. We're live now. We're talking about the NBA today. We're going to be talking about the playoffs. Last time I was here, we talked about the trade deadlines. We talked about what happened in the trade deadlines. And you know what? Subsequently, it was a sad time for us, but we ended up getting Gary Trent Jr., and I didn't know how good he was going to turn out to be. But I'm here now. I hold my hands up. I thought we traded Norman Powell for a bag of peanuts. We ended up getting a good signing. Yo, I'm in Masai we trust. But yo, let's talk about this. I got three guys with me today. We're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to be talking about the playoffs. We're also going to be talking about the actual playoff awards, right? We're going to be talking about Gobert, Joel Embiid. We're going to be talking about Draymond Green. We're going to be talking about Jokic. We're going to be talking about LaMelo Ball, all those guys. But first things first, let me introduce my panel and my guests. So I got Baz. Baz, who do you support, man?
Well, being from Canada, it's got to be the Toronto Raptors, man, all the way.
There you go. We got Peter. He's saying he's a subsequent Suns fan. Tell the people.
Yeah, man. I mean, first good season since I was 14 years old, for context. Those of you who don't know, and I don't see why you wouldn't, I'm turning 25 this week. So it's been a decade of being absolutely horrendous, but it's almost over. Are we going to win the finals? Of course not. But me being irrationally confident and biased, I'll ride for it. It is what it is, man.
It is what it is. Anyways, now yo, Slens.
Yes, bro.
Tell the people where you who you support and why your camera's off.
Listen, man, my camera's off because I'm currently just doing some work and I can't put my camera on. I don't have good lighting either. But listen, my first love is MJ and the Bulls, but I'm rooting for the Clippers, man. You could say I'm a casual, but I got some good knowledge.
Alright, so you know, I'm not gonna say you're casual, but I think Christian would definitely would. So let's keep it moving. First things first. We're gonna be talking about the awards afterwards, but first thing first, I want to talk about the play-in. There's a lot of things that can still change. If you guys can see this, you currently have Washington in the 9th position facing Indiana in the 10th. You have the 7th and 8th, which is Boston and Charlotte. You have Memphis and San Antonio, which is 9th and 10th. You have Lakers and Golden State, which is 7th and 8th, respectively. Now, from there, you move on inwards and you look at the actual teams they're going to end up playing. The loser of the 9th and 10th will end up facing... What? Okay, so the loser of the 9th and 10th will end up facing Utah, and the what the hell's going on here? Why is this so weird? And then the winner, I'm so confused. Okay, so the winner of 8th and 10th will be facing the loser of 7th and 8th, and then that person will then be facing Utah. The winner between Golden State and the Lakers will end up facing the Phoenix Suns. Right? Same thing on the other side. To play in, the 10th and 9th will be playing the loser of 7 and 8. And 7 and 8, the winner will be going straight into the 7th seed. So that's how the play-in works. If you guys don't already know, I hope I did a good job explaining it. I don't feel like I did. But then, so going straight into it, a lot has changed, right? Yeah. Yesterday, the Knicks and the Hawks were not playing each other. Yesterday it was the Milwaukee Heat. It was the Milwaukee Bucks and the Knicks and the Heat and the Hawks. So it changed today. Also, Boston was supposed to be facing Washington, but it changed also because Boston jumped in and took over the 7th seed. So that's what changed in that side. And in the West, a lot has changed in the West. So,
but Igal, I think Washington secured 8 seed today.
Is playing Boston.
Yeah, I think that one's a little older. Like I just looked at one now. Like it's but Washington's an 8.
Yeah, they just secured it today.
Yeah,
they just changed again.
Yeah.
Literally just today.
The Pacers are in 9th and the Hornets are in 10th.
Yeah.
There you go. So it changes every single second. Are you looking on the website?
I'm looking on the NBA app, to be fair, yeah.
Okay, can you share your screen, Baz?
Let me find.
Let's get Baz to share his screen to see what he's
bring that up.
Like right now, today, there was the Knicks-Boston game, the Raptors Pacers game, right? So there's been a couple games that already took place, and those games heavily had implications on what's happening today. A lot of those games had heavy implications on today's results. So what had happened today so far? So far, you had Boston lose to the Knicks, which took them to the 4th seed. You had Charlotte lose to Washington, right?
Did you guys see that?
That's why they flipped.
Indiana beat Toronto, Phoenix beat San Antonio, and Golden State beat Memphis. You still have the Clippers to face OKC, Utah to face Sacramento, Denver to face Portland, Dallas to play in Minnesota, Charlotte, Chicago, Milwaukee, LA, New Orleans, Denver, Miami, Orlando, Philly, Cleveland, Brooklyn, and Houston, Atlanta. So a lot could still change. Anyways, this is the current up to date. Okay.
You guys see that?
Okay, so let's see what's the difference from this.
So Boston.
So Boston and Washington are facing. Charlotte is now the 10th seed. What else is there?
I guess everything's in the East is pretty much set. It's just and now the West is open now because
the West could still change tonight as well. It probably won't because Denver's tanking this game because they want to play Portland instead of the Lakers. But if the Lakers were to win and Portland somehow loses against Denver's B team, then they would swap seeds as well.
Okay. I hear that. Now, I don't really usually do a lot of NBA content. I do it once in a while. So let's just so for anyone who's new here, we do this once in a while. You better check it out. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do. Okay. So first things first, I want to go game by game. Washington. Right now we have this. This is old. I'm gonna have to go
versus Hornets.
So should I bring it back up?
Yeah. You know what? Can you put it in the private group so I can actually
absolutely
get the image directly from there, and I'll just pull. I'll steal it. Now we already know Lakers and Golden State. That could change.
Yes. So the Lakers could, if they were to win tonight against whomever they're playing, because Denver's playing the Blazers. So if Denver beats the Blazers, that being said, they've said they're going to rest people, so they probably won't. But if Denver does beat them and then the Lakers win, the Blazers and the Lakers would swap positions. So the Blazers would get dropped into the play-in tournament, and the Lakers would be playing Denver.
So this is completely like the new system has made it where you don't know who's going to be in which position until the last day. This is amazing.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what it's done is it's made the last couple of days of the season actually relevant. It's been successful in its goal then at that point.
It's made you talk about these lower seeded teams.
The whole point of
LeBron, though. Not if you ask LeBron, he won't like it, man.
LeBron hates it, but a year ago
we don't have LeBron is bitter all the time. Okay, so let's go to the first game. First game, Indiana Charlotte. What are we saying?
Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It has to be Charlotte because Indiana has been terrible lately. Their whole team is injured.
Yeah. How injured are they though? That's the question I have because this season has been insane. We've had NBA's with the NBA all of their reports on injuries. It's been pretty questionable to be honest. But I mean, all of the guys that are out are, even if they come back in, they're pretty cold. They haven't been playing. So the only thing I would say is that
TJ Warren is out. Is
Brogdon coming back?
Brogdon didn't play because he had a sore right hamstring today. I'm looking at the box score right now.
And then Sumner, right?
I don't see Sumner on the active roster, but yeah, he's probably hurt if he's on that team.
But credit to them.
Aaron Holiday is apparently hurt too. I mean, it's just all. I don't think any of them are actually hurt. They're all going to be playing.
Well, let me name. So you got Jeremy Lamb, LeVert, Aaron Summer, Aaron Holiday, Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner, and TJ Warren all out, but they're expected to be out until May 17th, May 18th. Majority of them. The only one who's going to be out for a long time is Miles Turner and TJ Warren. So I don't know if all of them are out for their.
Did LeVert get injured today? Because I think he played today, LeVert.
Oh, so if LeVert
played 21 minutes today.
Yeah, he left after, but he left
LeVert
the game.
and Aaron Holiday are back. Okay.
Because they've improved since LeVert's come in, to be fair. They needed that point guard, and he's been it,
It's debatable. Now, Charlotte, what's going on with Charlotte? Charlotte, do they have any major injuries? I will tell you right now that Gordon Hayward is back and Cody Martin is back. Their whole team is pretty much healthy.
PJ was good.
With Charlotte, so in my opinion, The only reason why Indiana are in a 9 seed is because they basically lost faith in their coach and the players down tools like they would in football, and these guys just absolutely messed it up at the end. They don't care anymore. They literally don't care. There's a situation where the coach could still win an NBA title, and he would still be gone at the end of the season because the players don't care about him.
This team, like I've watched this team a lot this year, and the amount of fourth quarter games they've blown away from being ahead is insane. Like it's like they melt very quickly, and when they have the type of talent on that team, they're doing that. It just tells you there's something wrong because they just give up. They literally give up. Like I've seen them down by like 15 points and lose the game in the fourth quarter. They're up by 15 points and lose the game in the fourth quarter. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So what are we saying right now? Are we saying Charlotte or Indiana? And people in the chat, let us know what you guys are saying also.
I would like to see Charlotte win just for a more interesting winner-take-all game for the 8th seed. Because no offense to Indiana Pacers, and if for whatever reason any of you in the chat are Indiana Pacers fans, I'm sorry, but there's just nothing captivating about that team. With Charlotte, I can at least watch LaMelo and be excited.
Yeah.
You know? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what this play-in tournament is for. Add a little bit extra excitement. Do I ever think the Charlotte Hornets are going to win the NBA championship? No, I don't.
Yo, Peter, you got some sound playing.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Man's literally watching the game as we're
I pulled up a box score, and I just auto-play stuff, and
I
eventually got the audio somewhere. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it's one of those things. I hope the Hornets win. That being said, who knows? I'm not aware of like what the season series would be or anything like that. But yeah, it would be nice to see LaMelo in a winner-take-all game for an 8 seed. That'd be fun.
Okay, and then Slens, who you going with?
I'm the same as Peter, man. I have a feeling LaMelo's going to introduce himself to the playoff game in a big way. I see a triple-double or a big performance coming up. So I'm on the LaMelo train as well. So I think that, you know what? I'm going to go for 5. Hornets on 5. Sorry, actually, it's only 2 games. It's only 1 game, isn't it?
It's 1 game.
Yeah. I thought it was playoffs. No. I think Hornets are going through. Yeah.
Interesting. I like it. And then, what about yourself, Baz?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the way. I think both teams are lackluster, to be honest. I think Charlotte has more potential to step up to a different level. I'd agree. Like, I like their team actually. LaMelo Ball. I think PJ Washington is a pretty good player, young, and they have guys like Terry Rozier that come off the bench and get threes and really put some points up. I just think that they're both very inconsistent teams, and it's pretty much a coin flip. But I think what I would say here is I'd say that I'd like to see Charlotte go in and see what they can do. But I have a feeling that Indiana is going to edge this because they have more experience on the team in certain areas.
No problem. Cool. We keep it moving, guys. So now enough about Charlotte. So at this point, Indiana's out.
Yeah.
Right?
If it were up to me, yes, they would get knocked out.
Let's hope so, man.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's pretty much unanimous. And then Boston, Washington. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like Washington have a better team, not overall a better team, but they have 2 players who can carry them through a game. Now, Boston have an overall better team, but something came off. The wheels just came off this season, and they haven't been the same. And I could see Boston losing, going into the play-in to face Charlotte, and then maybe squeaking by Charlotte. But I think Washington could beat them. What are you guys saying?
If Boston does lose this game to Washington, we get a 7-game series of Russ versus KD, right?
Ooh, yes, please.
Yep. I support chaos. I root for chaos at all levels of every sport. Do I think Washington would beat the Celtics in a 7-game series? Of course not. But it's 1 game, and you have Russ and Bradley Beal. You've got players who are perennial all-stars on your team. They could get through it. I hope they do. I would like that. I would very much enjoy that, just to see Russ versus KD and Russ still hold this beef too close to his heart. I need that.
Enough said. Everyone agrees?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
I'm just
Washington's one of the
wondering,
best teams.
with the
Go ahead.
Celtics, Jalen Brown's out, right, for the season?
Yes,
Let me
Yes.
double check. Let me
He
double
did
check.
surgery on
I
his wrist.
believe so.
Yeah, Jalen Brown is out for the season. Yeah,
Yeah.
injury was taking place on the 13th of May.
That's big for them, man. That's big. He's a big miss. So
Yeah,
You know
he is.
what? They have. I'm not gonna lie to you. They have themselves to blame because these guys have been mismanaging their players. They don't know who their best big man was. They eventually got rid of Tice and realized that Robert Williams was good. They got Fournier, not realizing that this guy has been starting all season with a massive knee injury and back spasms. They just sabotage themselves. Like I don't think they actually I don't think they helped themselves with any moves that they've made. And you know what? I don't like Boston, but they had a chance to be a perennial team for the next 10 years, and Danny Ainge actually screwed up for once, not making the right trades when he needed to. He got greedy. He held on to his assets for too long, and they depreciated in value.
Like, don't you think that if they were able to get Chris Paul, that would have been perfect for them? Just to have like a floor general, because Kemba Walker is a nice player, but they have so many guys that just play the similar type of game, and I think that Chris Paul would have been perfect there. I don't know why they should have went all in to make that happen.
You know why though? You know why they did what they did. They went for Kemba because Kyrie was leaving. They needed a quick replacement. They gave Kemba the money, and they quickly realized Kemba was not all that.
Mm-hmm.
They were better off with Terry Rozier.
yeah. Kemba's bad form actually coincides with how bad they've been. They went for a bad run. He was just icing games. He wasn't doing well.
Not even that. He was injured at times, and they were better with him injured. So that just goes to show you. But yeah, anyways, enough about Boston. Are anyone here a Boston fan? I don't think so, right?
No Boston sports for me, man. Any Boston sport team.
So Boston now lose, and we have Boston and Charlotte dropping down into the 9-10 winners and the 7-8 losers. So you'll have Charlotte and Boston facing each other. Who's going to win from that matchup?
You guys think, you guys don't think, I don't want to get it up, but you guys, we're saying that Washington's going to get into the 7th seed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I say Boston gets the job done against Charlotte.
They only have to win one game.
Yeah, they should. Like, I mean,
for anyone who doesn't know how it works, you have to win
Yeah.
one game. Charlotte needs to win 2 games to knock out Boston. So can Charlotte beat Boston over 2
Is that
games?
how it works?
Yeah.
So it's not just a winner take all game in this scenario.
That's what I thought it was as well. Yeah, it's not.
The higher
you have to
seed,
beat them twice.
the higher seed has to be beaten twice.
Oh, now Boston's got that then. If that's how it works.
Boston's got it for sure, man. Like,
If they lose 3 games in a row in this play-in tournament, Brad Stevens has to get fired.
They came back. Were they down like 30 points? They were down by like 30 points a couple weeks ago and came back to win. Like, this team still has a lot of
They were down by
ability.
20 against the Knicks today. I went on a 17-0 run in the fourth and still lost by 4 at the end.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy scorelines this year. NBA looks like people don't defend after they start losing by 20.
Yeah, man.
Listen, Tatum's a bona fide star as well, so let's not forget about him. Like he will have
100%.
All right. So we're only doing the play-ins today. So next, on the other side of the play-ins, what are we doing? We got Memphis, San Antonio. What are we saying?
Isn't this like 2 similar type of teams? Like,
No,
you know what I mean?
I think Memphis is a dark horse in the sense that they have a lot of players out all season, so they haven't actually got to show how good they are. Imagine they got to the playoffs with their best player being out for like months.
I like Memphis a lot. Like, I think that they're one of the teams in the NBA that work hard every single game and keep going. And I love Ja Morant. I just think he's I mean, he doesn't get enough like attention. That guy, like, didn't he play like for small school in that state? And he's like kind of like the hometown. Yeah, he's the hometown guy. Yeah, man. Like, this guy is like one of the guys that I love in the NBA. Just a good guy all around. And I think he's only going to get better. So And then I think Memphis, 100% better team, should win. But I just think these two teams are like those grinding type of teams. And San Antonio, like you can never put a Popovich team out of the mix, but Memphis should definitely win this game.
Okay. I hear you. All right. So at this point, what's everyone saying? I'm saying Memphis. I heard everything you said, but I'm still going Memphis.
Memphis has to win this, man. They
Well,
can't.
we need to shout someone out, by the way. We need to shout out DeMar, man. DeMar's had a great year. In my opinion.
I love DeMar. I love DeMar
DeRozan. I know there's a couple people in the chat. 2 people actually. What are you guys saying? Tell me. But yeah, before we go any further, is it unanimous? Memphis except for Baz?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I said Memphis. I mean, I am Memphis. I just don't think it's an easy. It's not a walkover.
It would be a damn shame if we lost John Morant to the Spurs.
Yeah,
that would be a real shame.
Are we saying okay? To me, it doesn't matter if Memphis get past San Antonio because no matter what, whoever faces Memphis is going to lose to Golden State or the Lakers.
Yeah. Or the Lakers, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think Golden State is a very good team at all. Actually, I think that Steph Curry is.
It's about Steph Curry, bro.
Yeah, it's all Steph Curry. I know, but I mean, like, if you take Steph Curry out of the game somehow, who's going to win you the game at Golden State? Who is? Yeah, I mean, I know Andrew Wiggins is supposed to be a third player on that. Well, not even the third player, the fourth player on that team. Yeah. Like when you have all your guys there, right? So I mean, it's just I just find like, and I think Draymond Green is past it, you know, and I just think this team is so they shouldn't have like they had a chance to get someone like Tyrese Haliburton or something like that, and they went and drafted. Wiseman, right? So I mean, like they really screwed up here, and I mean it's going to be really, really tough. I mean, it's like, of course, it would be a shame for Steph Curry not to be in the actual playoff, but I could see a banana skin after if they don't get into the 7th seed. I really can.
To me, it's all about Steph Curry versus LeBron James and that legacy of that continuing, and that's just entertainment to its best. You know what I mean? You can't be upset whenever you get Steph Curry versus thing. That's just what people live for. Let's be real. A lot of people just want to see Steph Curry versus LeBron. They don't care about the actual play-in tournament. They don't care about the whole playoffs. They feel like the highlight of the playoffs for them would be seeing LeBron James go against Stephen Curry in a couple one-off games.
It's true. Golf, you remember the All-Star game when they teamed up? Like, it was such a massive buzz around it as well. So it shows you these stars, like they're big stars, arguably 1 and 2 in many people's books. So it's a big game, man. And you know what? I hope Golden State somehow get one game just to extend this.
I've got a question.
This game, yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, this would be the biggest ratings draw in terms of the play-in tournament. Not even close. Because let's be honest, we're all finding time to watch this game right here. But what do you think would be more popular? The Grizzlies versus the Spurs or the Pacers versus LaMelo Ball?
No, the Orlando Magic versus the Raptors, of course. Anyway, no, let's be real. The other play-in tournaments, the play-in tournament with Boston is going to be the biggest after the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Charlotte, Indiana is going to be 3rd. And then 4th is Memphis, San Antonio. As big as San Antonio's fan base is, let's be real, no one's watching that game for San Antonio. They're watching it for John Morant.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So let's be real. Let's just end this off by saying it doesn't matter who Golden State or the Lakers face in the play-in. Both of them are going to advance to the playoffs. One is going to be the 7th seed. One is going to be the 8th seed. I don't give Memphis or San Antonio a chance to beat them. What do you say?
I watched the Grizzlies-Warriors game today. I think Memphis could beat the Warriors if the Warriors go cold from the outside. But that's really the only way. Like, if they're on with it, because, I mean, when you have Wiggins hitting contested threes and Steph pouring in 46 and you're the Memphis Grizzlies, you're just going to lose because you're not built to withstand 46 from Steph and Curry. Like, your team's not that good. It is what it is. I think they could win. Obviously, the Warriors would be heavy favorites. And I mean, they'll get in eventually, but I would be more interested in seeing that game than seeing like the Lakers just slaughter the Grizzlies.
So let's say this. This is where it gets interesting for me. If you're LeBron, and this is where the conspiracy NBA hat comes on. Do you want to play the Suns or do you want to play the Jazz?
I would say the Suns because they're kids.
Yeah, but I mean the Jazz are. I mean the Suns. You're right. But I mean there's a psychological thing about the Suns versus the Lakers. But
yeah,
but I have the Suns as one of the value picks to get to the finals. To be honest.
Wow.
But if they play the Lakers, I don't think that's gonna happen.
If we play the Lakers, I'm gonna be honest, we're out. All right.
Yeah.
I'm an irrationally confident Suns fan, per the name. If we play the Lakers, we're dead, guys. Don't argue with me about this. It is what it is. Only way we'd come through that
is what it is.
Yeah.
Tell him it is what it is. Anyways, where do you guys want to begin with the awards? I was thinking we go from the smallest to the biggest. So I was going to start from most improved.
Yeah. Nice and easy.
So we start from most improved and we work our way up. So most improved, I have a couple candidates. I'm going to put them on the screen. You guys tell me what you guys think of those candidates, right? So first candidate we have is none other than Julius Randle, right? Julius Randle is the number one candidate in my opinion. He is the guy who everyone is going to talk about when they talk about this award. He's the gentleman who took the biggest leap in my opinion. You also, after Julius Randle, there's a couple options. There's Michael Porter Jr., right? Who also took a big leap. Took a massive leap this season, especially with Denver and the injuries going on over there. And finally, you have Jerami Grant. So you have Jerami Grant, you have Julius Randle, and you have Michael Porter Jr. Who in order? What's your order, guys? So my order is Michael Porter is last, Jerami Grant is second, and then finally, number one is Julius Randle. I'm going to throw it to you, Baz. What is your order for the three?
Definitely you have to go Julius first because what he's done is elevated franchise. That's really been waiting for a star like this to kind of come up. And one of the biggest sports franchises in the world, really, right? So I mean, this is very big what he's done this year, and you have to give him props for that. Second, I have to go with what they've done that means something. So I'm going to say Michael Porter Jr. After Jamal Murray came out, I knew they were going to not miss a step because of him coming in and playing, taking those minutes. So I think that he's number two. And then number three, although I really rate Jerami Grant, I just think it's hard to put him ahead of Michael Porter Jr. because what the Pistons are doing this year doesn't matter. And honestly, because you're giving all those minutes, you're going to do something with them. So that's the only reason I have to put him third. But he has done very well.
You're giving it to Michael Porter Jr. over Jerami Grant, the second spot. But you're giving the first spot to this man right here.
To Julius Randle. It's got to be Julius Randle. I mean, the guy is incredible, what he's done this year. And, I mean, the team isn't very talented all around, right? And this guy has been putting up, his numbers are amazing, but also he's given them the star that they need to have. You know what I mean? In New York, I mean, who's the last star? But Melo, right? So I mean, the big star in New York. Before that was Marbury, but I mean, yeah, he's got a chance to be that level, and he's got to come next year and do it again. But I would definitely have to give it to him.
Okay, so Baz's vote is Jerami Grant is second. So there is Baz's vote. I'm putting it in the chat right now. My vote is 1, 2, 3 for Michael Porter Jr. is third for me. He's not second. And then for you, what's it called? Slens, who do you have?
Yes, bro. I'm actually similar to Baz. Number one is obvious. Yeah, number one's obvious. I think the reason I'm putting Michael Porter Jr., I think it's got a bit of recency bias. Murray got injured recently, and he's elevated his game. So I think because of recency bias, he'll get the second spot.
I understand that. And then Peter, do you have a different thought process, or is it the same as everybody else?
I mean, I would like to be different, but the Pistons really aren't up to much. and it's very obvious. You can see the leap that the Knicks have taken as a franchise from last year to this year, and it's just so tangible. Like, none of us saw the Knicks winning 42 games before the season. None of us would have said that, but here they are. And Michael Porter Jr., yeah, he kind of got in because injuries and all that. So it's not like a coaching masterstroke or anything or a brave decision. It's kind of made out of necessity, but still, you can see the impact he's had. I mean, I love Jerami Grant. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I don't think he's been as impactful or noteworthy as the two ahead of him in this case. But Julius Randle is definitely number one.
Okay, so we've spent more time picking up who's going to be second, but the award goes to Julius Randle. Julius Randle, you're awarded the most improved player by EGTV.
Hey, before you move on, I got a question. Where does he rank in the MVP rankings, Julius Randle?
We're gonna talk about that in a bit. We haven't gone to it. So guys on Twitter, this portion for the most improved player has ended. Right? Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna begin the next portion. The next portion, guys, is going to be, what do you guys think?
6th man of the year.
Yep.
People in the chat, play along. The next one is the 6th man of the year, and the 6th man of the year, I'll have to make a new bracket for the people on Twitter. So for this one, you're gonna have 3 candidates again, right? Can you guys guess the 3 candidates? Oh, you already know them. I've already sent it to you guys.
Yeah, you have. Yes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair.
It's not really much of a guess. But one thing that's not fair is 2 of them play for the same team. Literally, you got 2 of them that play for the exact same team. You got Jordan Clarkson, and the other guy, Joe Ingles, Slow Ingles, who literally plays for Utah. These guys, it has to be. Surely the number 1 spot has to go to Jordan Clarkson, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Joe Ingles has emerged as a late shout for the number 1 pick, and then the third choice is that man right there. TJ, what's his name?
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Hardaway Jr. Yeah. Why am I saying TJ? Is that his name? Yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr. Sorry. So yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr. is the next candidate, in my opinion. Tim Hardaway Jr. is the guy that you're gonna have to select if you're gonna be third. Then when you go over to Utah, you're gonna have to select one of these guys. And for me, I think Jordan Clarkson has to take it because of the amount of points he scores and just how impactful he is on the offensive end. So that's my choice, guys. Anybody really think anything different?
I do. Listen, I'm outraged. Where's my guy Derrick Rose, man? Should be in the conversation. He should be in the conversation. He should. If you think about it, it's last 2 months, I think he's been really good coming off the bench. So I think he's got robbed. I put him ahead of Joe Ingles, but the current ratings, I put Jordan Clarkson's obviously number 1. Easy choice.
Jordan Clarkson's number 1?
Yeah, easy choice.
All right. So you put Derrick Rose in. Who are you taking out?
Joe Ingles.
I take Tim Hardaway Jr. off because I don't think he's consistent.
Okay.
What about you, Joe Ingles? I'm down. Let's
what about you, Peter?
I'll take off Joe Ingles and put in Derrick Rose. I wouldn't give it to Derrick Rose.
You guys like breaking the rules, but fine. We'll put Derrick Rose in. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. Who have you guys selected? Some people are saying it has to be Jordan Clarkson.
So it is Jordan Clarkson for my money. Like we're debating 2nd and 3rd place here.
Yeah, Clarkson's got it.
I remember watching a Jazz game about 6 weeks ago. I turned on the TV, and Jordan Clarkson was making like the most ridiculous mid-range step-backs that were contested, just like not within the flow of any offense. And it was so clear that the Jazz's offense for 4 or 5 minutes was just give it to Jordan Clarkson and let him cook. And I would have never said that about a successful NBA offense about Jordan Clarkson 4 or 5 years ago. So seeing that, I'm like, wow, like he actually really has come a long way.
Did you see his step back 3 the other day? It was contested with like 3 people. So
yep.
All right. So you're Coach of the Year now. Before we get started, I'm gonna tell the people the candidates, and I'm gonna add people on Twitter. So you guys on Twitter, keep enjoying this. You guys are getting free content today on Twitter. But yeah, let's get this. So next, Coach of the Year, we got 3 candidates, right? You got Monty, you got Tibbs, you got Snyder, right? If you guys don't know who they are, I'll put them on the page for you. This is Quin Snyder, right? You guys already should know who Tibbs is.
Of course.
Right. And then this is Snyder again. Heat is not even a shout in my opinion.
Shouldn't be.
But then Monty Williams definitely is with the Suns, right? So big up to Monty Williams also, because he's had to go through hell and back throughout life to get to a job where he actually is one of the best teams in the NBA. So he deserves this, and he's worked very hard to get there. I personally feel like Monty Williams is my number one pick because the Suns and the story of the Suns and everything else. Next, second, I have Tibbs, and third, I have Quin Snyder. I know it sounds ridiculous, a team that's Utah who's so good, but you know what? Utah was good last year. Phoenix Suns were nobodies.
But I got a question. What's the biggest surprise this year? Is it Suns, Knicks making the playoffs, or is it the Jazz? If you can answer that question, then I can vote for that coach. Because I'm actually not. My number one is Monty. My number two is,
to me, the jump that the Phoenix Suns made from irrelevancy, not being a play-in tournament team last year, they weren't even a play-in tournament team. Do you guys remember there was something called bubble Suns?
Bubble MVPs, man. Bubble MVPs.
No, they were undefeated during the bubble.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And then
we were killing it. All right, we were out here.
Yeah. Yo, talk to me. You're a Suns fan. Who do you think it is?
It's gotta be Monty Williams. And yes, I'm biased. Say what you want, but let's be honest. This franchise hasn't been up to much for the last decade. None of you saw the Suns winning 50 games in a 72-game season. Nobody saw that being possible, right? Everybody kind of looked at the Chris Paul trade as like a little bit of a sideways move. You're like, oh, why would Chris Paul go there? Why would he do this? But you look at the Suns, and everybody's opinion on the Suns has changed so tremendously over the course of the season. Just because nobody really expected this. With Tibbs, this is kind of what Tibbs does. He gets the most out of the least. And yes, we can see there's a ceiling to the Knicks, and they're not great to watch, but it is effective. But at the end of the day, they've won 42 games. Quin Snyder, great coach. You're obviously going to be in with the shout when you're the number one seed in the Western Conference, and you've got the best record in the league. You're always going to get Coach of the Year shouts. That's just historically the precedent for Coach of the Year.
But it has to be Monty.
You have to give it to Monty Williams.
Yeah.
It has to. It just has to.
All right. So if it has to be Monty Williams, it's going to be Monty Williams. But anybody have a shout for anybody else?
Well, I mean, I agree with you guys. Monty Williams with where these guys are. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys got to the NBA Finals. So just because of that, from where we were last year, I think that's a big jump this team has made. The only thing I would say though is that the NBA, you know, when they choose this award at the end of the year, because the Knicks are who they are, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Thibodeau gets it. But I think but I think I would definitely give it to Monty Williams as well.
I don't know what you meant by that, but
I just mean like the NBA would probably go because they're the biggest such a big franchise for brand purposes. They'd probably like the story of getting the Knicks back. You know what I mean? Like they love that sort of stuff.
We don't do GM of the year. That's for
WWE, man.
That's for car companies to worry about, not us. Like, GM of the year, who cares? Masai Ujiri is GM of the year every year for me. Yeah. Everyone's gonna. GM of the year is a popularity contest. You really don't have to do much to be a GM of the year. You just have to get James Harden, and Brooklyn Nets are GM of the year. Let's be real. Who is the GM of the year? It's probably Phoenix.
It would have to kind of go in line with whomever your coach of the year is more often than not.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. Sometimes you can give coach of the year to a guy who's just come into a position that was already not doing so well that didn't change much.
Well, if you're going to give somebody coach of the year in this situation, right, for like a turnaround, you'd have to give a GM of the year award to that same franchise. Unless you want to give it to the Nets GM who just got Harden. Fair enough, whatever.
What about Knicks?
I do that too much.
Yeah, man, the Knicks, they're that's a coaching job. I wouldn't say they did any move. Like they did some nice moves, but you know that's a coach. Like the coach is getting the best out of Julius Randle. Mm-hmm. You know the best. Some young players coming to the team, getting the best out of them. I agree.
Let's bring it back. We're losing track of it now. Defensive player of the year. Three candidates. Very simple. Not gonna be beating around the bush. You guys already know who they are, right? Everybody knows. Everyone should know who the defensive player of the year candidates are. In my opinion, there's some crazy shouts this year, but defensive player of the year leaders, you have Rudy Gobert, Ben Simmons, Draymond Green. Who else is there? Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, Bam should be in there.
Giannis, Clint Capella. Well, I don't know why I even have Draymond Green in there. Draymond Green is his team is ranked third in defensive field goals, and he would have been higher on the list if his team was actually like solidified in the playoffs. But so from the guys that I've given you the names, Rudy, Bam, Ben Simmons. What are we saying?
It's got to be Rudy for me. Like that's what he does. I mean, I like Ben. I mean, you know what? Actually, it's also you can't discount Ben Simmons either, but I think the team defense on Philadelphia is a big part of that. But he's obviously a big good part of that. But I would definitely say Rudy Gobert. Like if you take Rudy Gobert out, what happens to that team? You know what I mean, defensively. So that's for me. Have to put Rudy Gobert for that reason.
Okay, so it has to be Rudy Gobert. What about you? What about yourselves, guys?
Yeah, Rudy. But I think Bam has to be third or second.
It's got to be Rudy. I would put Ben second. As fun as it would be to give it to Ben Simmons, you just can't ignore what Rudy Gobert does for the Jazz. The way they play on defense is tailored around having someone like him protecting the rim. And those kind of guys just don't grow on trees. Respect for Draymond for putting himself in the conversation. But I don't think what he's done this year is more outstanding defensively than what Gobert has been doing.
Okay, so are we saying Bam second?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, I don't mind.
Okay.
I have serious Draymond fatigue, so
I'm saying it's Ben Simmons.
okay.
Well, number one. Oh, number two. Sorry, yeah, number two. Yeah, Ben.
Number two is Ben. Rudy Gobert is number one in my opinion. If you want to talk about Bam, we can talk about Bam. But these two guys have been the two best defenders in the league this year. One's leading the league in steals. I think the other one's leading the league in rebounds. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, Rudy
Yeah.
is a monster.
Yeah, let's look at this defensive. What is this? All first defense last year. You have Ben Simmons. You have Rudy Gobert. You have Marcus Smart. This is last year's team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Bam was second last year. This year, Bam is going to be in the first team, no question about it. He takes Anthony Davis's spot, right? But he's not. But I don't see how you can make a case for Bam or anybody else to win this, besides Ben Simmons or Rudy Gobert. And Ben Simmons, in my opinion, has not done enough, even though he's steals wise. Who's going to be that defensive player of the year ranking? It's tough, but we have to go with Rudy number one, Ben Simmons number two, and Bam number three. That's just my opinion. Everyone agrees?
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Big up everybody watching the chat. Who you guys going with? Someone said Draymond Green. I'm a bit biased. Egal, is your TV okay? Yeah, my guy beat me in FIFA 4 times in a row.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen, I literally left 1 second, and then I came back. He was, and then I came back to play him a third time, and then I was like, yo, it just became madness. I was like, yo, this is done. Let's just forget about it. And yeah, long story short, I would have broke my TV, but it's not my TV. Yeah, let's continue. That's not anger issues. That's just me. Now, what are we thinking? What are we thinking about the rest of the guys? Are we? What awards is left? What have I not mentioned? Rookie of the year. Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I love Rookie of the Year, but this year, Rookie of the Year, it has to be.
It's a one-horse race.
It has to be one guy. But I'm telling you, if Sacramento was smart, they would just give the keys to their team to Tyrese Haliburton. He is the best player in this draft. From the players that I've watched, he is better than LaMelo Ball, in my opinion. Tyrese Haliburton is better than LaMelo Ball. He's better than these guys. And what happened to that guy over there in Golden State? Nobody knows, but he went number 1 overall. Get out of here.
Wiseman.
I don't know why Wiseman got picked
number one.
Wiseman.
Wiseman went 2. The guy from the Wolves at number 1.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards went number 1.
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards. I mean, Wiseman went number 2. That was a bad pick.
Everyone that goes to the Wolves just dies. They're not a serious franchise.
All right, so these are the 5 candidates. You got Wiseman. You got Anthony. You got Tyrese Haliburton. You got the guy over there in the Knicks. Quin. What's his name? Quincy. Quickly, yeah. And then you got my guy over here, LaMelo Ball. To me, the 2 guys in the front of the picture, Tyrese Haliburton and LaMelo Ball, are the 2 best players. And in my opinion, Tyrese Haliburton, there was days where he was going toe-to-toe with guys like Stephen Curry and Damian Lillard, bucket for bucket in fourth quarters. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think he's the best player in this draft. I know LaMelo Ball might be the rookie of the year this year, and he might have better numbers and had been injured at times, but I'm telling you, this kid from Sacramento is the better player of the 2. And I said it from the first day that I did a video about it this season, that he was a candidate for Rookie of the Year and he could possibly win it. And I think he should win it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you guys tell me what you guys think.
He's not going to get it. But I don't hate your opinion that he's a better player than LaMelo and will prove to be. But on the basis of the season, he's just not going to get it. There's so much more hype and hysteria and flashiness to what LaMelo does. And I'm not saying LaMelo is not a good player and wouldn't deserve it, but it's just Haliburton's not going to get it being in a team like the Kings with how mediocre they've been.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting too because they've invested in De'Aaron Fox, and we can all agree De'Aaron Fox is a very good player. But I think that this guy could probably end up going to a different level than him.
You know who's a shout? You know who's a shout that came on here last minute? Jason Tate.
Yeah.
Jason Tate's a shout. He has almost as much points as Tyrese Haliburton average now, based on what he's done at the end of the season. Sorry to cut you off, but there's also Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart. The whole Detroit team is all rookies.
They're getting the chance to play though. That's the only thing. Like, it makes more. I think that LaMelo Ball, the one argument I'd have for LaMelo Ball is that he's going into a situation where he's getting play over veterans, right? Whereas, and then same with Tyrese Haliburton, it's impossible not to put him in there. Then those guys are, the other guys you're mentioning are on the team teams that are tanking, right? So, I mean, obviously the one thing you be careful of, it's the same thing in the NFL. Like, if you get someone who takes a lot of snaps and gets 800 yards, it doesn't mean they're a good wide receiver. It just means that we threw the ball a lot to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you got to be careful that way.
Yeah, they get that. They get the level of production that other people don't get. They're almost gifted to a level.
Yeah. But I think where LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Haliburton have gone into situations as young kids and jumped into that position and taken the spot of veterans. So I mean that's where, like, Buddy Hield was supposed to be, would think that he was going to play more this year, but Tyrese Haliburton is completely taken. Took his spot coming off the bench. You know what I mean? So. That's very impressive when I look at it.
So Rookie of the Year, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna give it to? Slens.
I'm giving it to LaMelo.
Answer and why?
LaMelo, I think the hype, as Peter said, the hype around LaMelo and I think the Hornets as well as a team, they help his case. So I'm gonna go with LaMelo, man.
Peter.
LaMelo, just for the relative success to his competitors, like when it comes to Haliburton and Anthony Edwards. Getting them to a play-in game where we're talking about them in the playoffs and him just getting the chance to shine. All things being equal, we might have a different answer, but things aren't all equal in their own respective teams. So definitely LaMelo.
And Buzz?
Yeah, I have to go with LaMelo for that reason, where they are in the playoffs or getting a chance to get into the playoffs. I think you have to go with that. Yeah, definitely. But I think Tyrese Haliburton probably has a chance. I mean, they're both going to have good careers, but I think Tyrese could get to a different level. But I think LaMelo Ball is like Jordan's not letting that guy go anywhere. He's going to be
Yep.
Charlotte. Yeah, like he's going to get max contract, everything, right? Like that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens with them. But definitely this year you have to go LaMelo just based on where they are and the team is. But Tyrese I could see him being a better player overall in the end of his career.
I hear that. I get that. That's understandable. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the next position. Next position is the MVP. And now, before we go into MVP, Slens, you had some questions. What was your question?
Oh, I was gonna say, where does Julius Randle rank? Do you think in the MVP list?
I'm going to go to the MVP list for you, and I'll check that for you. So what I'm going to do is the MVP ladder, right? And on the NBA website, but from just to see where they rank them. But personally, in my opinion, this is my order. It's Jokic, number 1 right now, no question about it. Number 2, Joel Embiid. 1 second before I do that, let me just update the Twitter. Remove Rookie of the Year. Guys on Twitter, come join us on YouTube, and then get us back. Get the Twitter guys back right now with NBA awards winners, and then go. And what am I doing? Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. MVP candidates. So yeah, you already seen who the 3 candidates are that I selected, right?
Yeah.
And from those guys, do you disagree with any of them?
No. When it comes to all 3 nominees, they have to be there. But I think, you know what? There is a question as to whether Steph sneaked into second or not ahead of Embiid. There is a conversation about it. I understand Sixers' record, and I know Embiid's been so dominant this year. But what Steph's doing, man, you can't ignore it. Like you can't ignore it. So that's my only conversation. No. For me, number 1 is Jokic. It's Jokic, and I think Jokic is running away with it. But I'm talking about number 2. I'm thinking Steph has sneaked into this conversation for second. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do this one in depth. We're gonna break this one down, okay? So let's break this one down properly. If we go on the NBA ladder for MVPs, what does it say? So we go from the bottom. So it gives you your 10 to 6. You have Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, Devin Booker. So that answers your question.
Chris Paul, Damian Lillard.
Julius Randle is 9th. Damian Lillard is he's 6th. Chris Paul is 7th. Rudy Gobert is there, and Devin Booker. So they really do put 2 Suns players and a Portland Trailblazer in the top 10.
I mean, to be fair,
Rudy
Suns are
Gobert,
the second best team in the conference.
But they're not even in the top 5. That's the funny thing.
I'm not upset about. I would take off Devin Booker if I wanted to take one off. It's good to see Chris Paul above him, because it's about time that people realize that Chris Paul is the most important player on the team by far. No disrespect to Devin Booker. I love Devin Booker.
No, Devin Booker's always been around, but Chris Paul was always coming in to be the main guy.
Yeah.
But what did you say, Peter? You don't know why Damian Lillard is ahead of Chris Paul?
I just don't agree with that.
Really?
I don't. I mean, we're talking 6 and 7, so does it matter too much?
No, it doesn't. Of course.
Carried them in that stretch where they like CJ McCollum was injured.
Recency bias does play a part. Okay, so next we're gonna have to scroll up slightly. So who's the first guy? First guy is this guy right here. You guys know who it is, Stephen Curry. So they put Stephen Curry 5th, but this is because of recency bias. So Stephen Curry is 5th on their mark, right? Mm-hmm. Next, after Stephen Curry, they have. Don't worry, it's not. It's Luka.
I was gonna say what?
You thought for a second it was him, man.
Future goat.
What is this?
Luka. And then after Luka, they still have Giannis in there, right? And then from Giannis, it goes Embiid.
Yeah, I mean that's
right?
fair.
And then Embiid to Jokic.
Yeah.
Right. Now, to me, if you just look, Jokic has not missed a game, and Jokic is averaging 26 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal. Has played the most games out of all of those guys, I think,
Hmm.
Yeah, he has.
And
He's played every
they've
single
managed his minutes well, and he's a big man, very durable. Honestly, is there any question about it that he is not the MVP?
Shouldn't be, no. Shouldn't
He
be.
has to win it.
This guy's like, I mean, look at the numbers, man. It's incredible.
So I'm gonna be quick fire. Peter, who's your 3?
Jokic, I would go Steph and then Giannis.
Ooh.
All right, people in the comments, give us your 3 candidates for MVP. What about yourself, Peter?
Yeah, Peter's already got. I'm gonna say.
I mean, I said Baz. Sorry, Baz.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jokic for sure. Number 1, it's got to be Embiid. I think. I mean, I do sport. I do bet on NBA. So every time he's out, they're completely like that team is lost when he's not playing. Like he is everything there. So I definitely have to go Embiid. And number 3, Giannis. I mean, is just a freak. He's amazing. But I have to take Steph and put him in the number 3 because Steph is, that team is in the bottom of the league if Steph isn't there. So I have to go Steph in number 3. Whereas I think the Bucks have a really good team all around.
All right, and Slens, finally.
Yeah, it's Jokic, of course. I said Curry for me sneaks into second, and I put Embiid as third.
Okay, so everyone kind of is changing theirs to the first image that I had up when I was sharing with Embiid, Jokic, and Stephen Curry. I hear that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So we've done the play-in tournaments, we've done the predictions. The only thing really now is left is to predict who's gonna win the NBA title. Are we gonna be bold enough to do that right now? Because in my opinion, if James Harden's healthy, it's the Brooklyn Nets. Who do you guys got?
So
I would go with the Nets if I was a betting person. Why am I saying if? I am a betting person. I am going to go with the Nets. It's going to happen.
All right, what about you, Slens?
I have a feeling they're gonna face some injuries, and that's during the playoffs. It's a funny feeling, and I think the Lakers might benefit from that. So I'm gonna go with the Lakers.
Bucks, comment section being bold with the Bucks.
I don't hate that though. I don't actually hate that because say like the Nets and the Lakers both have AD and LeBron are 100%, right?
Bucks could lose to Miami in the first round.
The Bucks could lose in the first round or kind of just bully everybody in the playoffs. You just never know.
We've never seen them bully anyone in the playoffs. To be
Slens, what are you saying?
Yeah, I said, listen, depending on the injuries for the Nets, yeah, I'm going for the Lakers. But if it's a fully fit team, then obviously it's the Nets.
Okay. I hear that.
So I'm gonna have to just looking at from a value perspective. If I was picking a team to bet on, I'd be looking at the Suns, to be honest, because as long as they don't play the Lakers in the first round. But if they don't play the Lakers in the first round, I probably would pick the Suns, or I'd also look at the Sixers. But I really think that I don't think the Lakers have the supporting cast that they did last year, and I think that's very obvious. And if they stay healthy, can Anthony and LeBron take them to the end? Sure, but I don't see that happening with the other teams being more complete. And the defense, and the defense is the biggest problem for me. You need defense to win a championship, and they don't have that. So I think they're going to crash out earlier than people think. So I would pick the Suns definitely, and my number 2 is going to be from the East. I'm going to go with the Sixers because they can play good team defense and they can put points on the board.
You guys already know who I'm picking. I'm picking the Brooklyn Nets. But so we have Peter is sick. You want to say it again?
The Nets.
What?
If I was the betting man, the Nets.
All right. Slens?
Yeah, Lakers, but only if Nets have injuries.
Baz?
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say the Suns are gonna get it done. And I'm not doing it to pump my boys' tires here. I really was thinking about that before. So.
I'll take it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, I would love for him and the Suns to win, But once again, I'm going to be logical here. I'm going to show you guys this bracket, and I'm going to show you guys the Brooklyn Nets are going to beat whoever, Boston or Charlotte. So they're going to beat Charlotte. Then they're going to face Milwaukee, beat Milwaukee. Then they're going to face Philly or whoever comes out from the Knicks in Atlanta. Most likely it's Philly. And then they're going to beat Philly. And then in the final, they're going to either have to face the Suns, the Utah Jazz, the Lakers, the Clippers, or the Denver Nuggets. And they're going to probably beat the Phoenix Suns. They're probably going to beat the Utah Jazz. They're probably going to beat the Clippers. And they probably would beat the Lakers. So I think if you're going to put your money on anybody, it's going to have to be those Brooklyn boys. That's just how it is. That's just how it is.
Eagle, I have a question.
These guys are going to win the league. Let's be real.
For the play-in tournament, are they at the team's home stadiums, like courts?
I think so. Yeah.
So there's going to be like the home court advantage element to it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I've got a question. Where do you think the Clippers are crushing out?
Why don't we look at it? So
Yeah,
I think the Clippers are going to probably lose to Denver if they go to Western Conference Finals, and if they don't go to Western Conference Finals, then they technically would have to lose to Utah, because I don't see them losing to Dallas. There's no way they're losing to Dallas.
I think Luka could take over the series. I really do.
Impossible.
Last year.
I think he can. I think he can, and I think he will. Like, I think so, because I think that's another team. The Clippers have that aura of like that bottle aura, you know. And I think that they're going to do it again. I've seen them do it this season, so I don't. There's nothing they've done this season and last season that tells me they're going to get over the hump this year. And I know Luka is desperate to win in this league.
Guys,
and
I'm coming to collect if we beat the Dallas.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's why I wouldn't count that out personally. Logically they should win 100%. I mean, I think I always joke with my friend who's a Mavs fan. I say the Mavs only have 3 starting players on offense because Finney Smith and Cully Stein are not good players in that part of the end of the court. But I just think Luka is insane, and if Porzingis and Hardaway come out and start playing, it could be dangerous for any team.
To be fair to you, last year, Porzingis got injured mid series, and that changed things. So if he's fully fit and firing, then it could be a different story.
It could be a different story. You're right. It could be. But I mean, yeah.
That's it for today, guys. You got Peter here, Suns fan. You got my guy Slens. You got Baz, and you guys got me, the Kitty G. And you know what? There's not a big bunch of you guys watching like you guys usually do the football content. But you know what? We're bringing this anyways. I hope you guys enjoy it. Just mix it up a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Just like the UFC, audience will grow slowly. But we know that. But yeah, guys, don't forget, subscribe if you're new. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook or Twitter, wherever you're watching, big up to you, and have yourselves a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here. Peace.
Big up.
What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. EGTV, you already know. And if you're on your phone, it's even easier. Press that like button for me. And you know what? Subscribe while you're still here. And big up